Good evening and welcome to Lagos Update on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This program highlights the activities of the Lagos State Governor and other state events. I'm Adeola Akindele. In the highlights of the program today, Governor Sanwo-Olu Obasa family, others celebrate Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat at 60. This and more after this time. We'll begin today with this story. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says Lagos State Gross Domestic Product (GDP) under his administration has greatly increased in the last 5 years due to well-thought-out ideas and economic policies to enhance the well-being of residents. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this when the President and Chairman in Council of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, Pius Olanrewaju, led other members of the Council to pay him a courtesy visit at the Lagos House, Ikeja. The governor also pledged his administration's commitment to continue to create an economy where businesses will thrive, cost of governance bearable, and prosperity in a safe and inclusive environment.
I want to assure you an institute that will continue to represent you well, and also Lagosians that have asked us to run the government at this point in time. So for us, that has given us a self-start to challenge ourselves, to ensure that we leave indelible mark, whilst ensuring that we do projects, programs, and activities that are people-centric.
Earlier, the President and Chairman in Council of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, Pius Olanrewaju, commended the Governor and his team for notable achievements and initiatives which have impacted positively on the lives of residents in line with the Themes Plus developmental agenda, which encompasses social inclusion, gender equality, and youth empowerment. Olanrewaju, who highlighted some of the programs and corporate social responsibility initiatives of the CIBN, hinted of plans to tackle the Japa syndrome in the banking sector with the establishment of a state-of-the-art academy to train new personnel within a short period of time and render quality services to the people, and as well uphold the ethics and professionalism of the sector.
We are also aware of your Akindele Leadership Academy, and we saw some of them when we paid a visit to some of your ministry. And my joy knew no bound because you have been futuristic. I believe that tomorrow, if we cannot even prepare the future for the youth, we should be able to prepare the youth for the future. We also realize your effort in the area of LASODA, that Lagos Office of Disability Affairs. That is a height of inclusiveness.
Governor Sanwo-Olu was announced as being endorsed as one of the fellows of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, alongside the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu. In the same vein, the Lagos State government during the week pledged to collaborate with the Chartered Institute of Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, to ensure corporate governance and administration in the country. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this when the President and Chairman in Council of ICSAN, Fumi Ekundayo, led other members of the Institute to pay him a courtesy visit at the Lagos House, Ikeja. According to him, Lagos will continue to be an acceptable home to all, just as the state government will create more platforms and opportunities for people to grow.
You shouldn't give up. The institute must continue to be relevant. The institute must continue to have a pride of place and, stand up, be counted well, and be definitive, in your professional calling, and just ensure that you keep with the tenets and the vision that brought about, the institute itself.
Earlier, the president and chairman in Council of ICSAN, Fumi Ekundayo, commended Governor Sanwo-Olu for his administration's developmental strides achieved through the Films Plus agenda and sought government's collaborations on capacity building for the state's workforce, support for corporate governance, and enhancing capabilities.
We know that the value that ICSAN brings to the table is enormous because of the very strategic role that our members play within every value chain, within every ecosystem.
Ekundayo advocated building the right corporate governance structure both in the private and public sectors across the country. In a bid to explore and showcase the tourism potential of Lagos to the global world, the state government has partnered the federal government and a new generation bank to revive activities in monuments across the state. Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Toke Benson Awoyinka, stated this during a tour of some monuments on Lagos Island. Some of the monuments inspected include Onikon House, Freedom Park, National Museum, J. Randall Center for Yoruba and Culture. Benson Awoyinka noted that government alone cannot handle the vast investment and exploration of the tourist sites in the state, maintaining that the cultural heritage of Lagos must be preserved for future generations.
Lagos is open to business. Lagos is open to promote tourism. Lagos is open to showcase our art and our heritage, our culture. We're embedded with so much culture, and this is the time to show it. So we're going to create that enabling environment for all the businesses in Lagos to thrive, for collaborations, for people, for our young people to thrive. Because if you look around us, we have a demography of very, very young individuals who are waiting out there, seeking that for us to hold up that hand, and we're ready for them now.
On his part, Director General, National Commission for Museum and Monuments, Nigeria, Olugbile Holloway, expressed the hope that the partnership would best more global recognition for the country and Lagos. He observed that there are a lot of hidden treasures which the younger generation, which he referred to as Gen Z, did not know about the tourism heritage of the country.
The most important thing in this partnership is for us to, like I always say, begin to retell our stories. The National Museum itself is a national monument, and within that we have artifacts that go as far back as the 15th century. So these artifacts tell not just the Lagos State story, but the story of Nigeria. And by partnering with Lagos State, we can make the National Museum a tourist destination in a wider ecosystem of cultural tourism. Oniko itself is a cultural hub.
Managing Director of a New Generation Bank, Abubakar Suleiman, promised funding for investment in the tourism sector in Lagos with a view to making profit and attract more foreign investors to make Lagos a global tourist attraction in line with international standards.
Let's remind ourselves is that tourism is also a business. The way you grow tourism, the way you grow art and culture and the creative industry is to make sure that there is enough resources to invest. It's only when you've invested that you can then raise the standard so that people from all over the world can see and be willing to come here.
The partnership is ahead of World Tourism Day, which will be celebrated next week, Friday, with the theme Tourism and Green Investments. Finally, on the program today, friends, family members, and political associates converged on Ikeja on Thursday to celebrate the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Obafemi Hamzat, on the occasion of his 60th birthday. The celebrant, clad in a white agbada and a matching striped royal blue cap, was accompanied by his wife Oluremi, children and other members of his family alongside the governor of the state, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. While eulogizing the celebrant, Governor Sanwo-Olu described the deputy governor as an epitome of humility and loyalty, whose intelligence stood him out of his team and worthy of emulation, and he prayed for longer life for him to the service of humanity.
I stand here to celebrate his life and to thank him for believing in my leadership, for agreeing, even when if he does not agree, he will agree. He can come back and disagree, but he will agree. For trusting in all of my leadership. And I want to say, and I prayed for you, that which you're asking God for, quietly, knowingly, unknowingly, God Almighty that creates way for men. We look at one way, but God looks at several ways to make it happen for you.
Speaking on how to train children in the fear of Allah, Amir Nadwat Assembly Worldwide, Sheikh Abdurrahman Lawal noted that parents should be the mirror for their children, and they should instill in them the fear of Allah by inculcating good moral values and discipline from cradle, so that when they are of age, they would not depart from the indelible footprint of their parents. Also, in his exhortation, Pastor Femi Fasheru of KICC thanked God for the celebrant's achievements and urged him to refire, re-engage and stretch more to achieve more, as the state and nation needs more of his commitment and sacrifice for the benefit of all citizens, especially at the nation's crucial period of economic hardship. In his vote of thanks, the deputy governor appreciated the state governor, other top government functionaries, and his family members for celebrating him. The event was attended by wife of the Lagos State Governor, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, deputy governors of Ogun and Ekiti states, Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, Chief Judge of Lagos, Justice Kazim Aluba, wife of former Minister of Works and Housing, Abimbola Fashola, other political and business leaders, members of the diplomatic corps, among others. With that story, we conclude this week's edition of Lagos Update, a program that highlights the activities of the Lagos State Governor and other state events. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Thanks to my producer Babatunde Akinyemi and studio engineer Oyeshola Ola. The executive producer is Tayo Akunle and Adeola Akindele. Next week is another date. Stay blessed and stay safe.